The energy I have consciously chosen to study along that path, and pretty much as soon as I got into it,
Yes.
And somebody here earlier mentioned the Arcturians.
Yes.
What I believe is, well, through synchronicities, Arcturians have played a role and have
All the beings in the Enneagram have played a role, as well as other spirit beings, other guides, other levels of dimensional consciousness, and even the consciousness of your own world, individually and collectively, have played a part in the creation of that language, of that multidimensional imagery that aids and assists you in being reflective of who you really are, or at least giving you a hint and a clue of the path to follow to discover yourselves.
yes. And that was actually my next question was,
Well, thank you for allowing us to answer it ahead of time.
thank you, my involvement in the studying and maybe dissemination of that information. Arcturians, a particular role they play, why is it the synchronicities are coming from?
It's a stabilizing
energy.
energy, an aligning energy that allows one more ease of alignment with the true core frequencies of their being. That's what the Arcturus energy plays a part in doing.
And I heard you mention earlier, they're not physical. They are
Not as you understand physicality, no.
okay, more of a consciousness.
Yes.
Okay, that's question number one.
All right.
Was basically reminding me consciously of what I think I already know unconsciously.
Thank you.
So I'll continue to do that work because that brings me my highest excitement.
Yes.
Second and last, I was recently in Mount Shasta.
All right.
While I was there was a group of about 150 people from South America who were there for what we would call a contact.
Yes.
And I believe I saw craft
Oh, all right.
that was associated with that contact.
All right.
There was a specific name that I was unaware of and was wondering if you knew anything about this particular
Are you referring
energy?
to Yael?
It's actually Anturel or Anturel. I'm unaware of this name yet. A researcher friend of mine, Paula Harris, was there, witnessed it, has written a story since. And the name hasn't rang a bell. I don't know what consciousness this is, what energy it is, and very curious because I've never heard of it before.
It is an offshoot extension of the hybrid civilization that will be one of the first to have open contact with your civilization.
Okay.
Does that help you?
That absolutely helps me.
All right.
Thank you. That's all that I have for you.
All right, thank you. Then that's all I have for you.
There you go. Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
First of all, let me thank you for all your teachings, and I just want to tell you that I appreciate you so much.
All right. Well, we thank you for the co-creation.
My highest excitement seems to be lately regarding psychedelics,
All right.
plant
Yes,
teachers,
Yes.
and I am curious about the big picture on ayahuasca and DMT and,
Yes.
and the difference thereof.
Well, they are guides and specific frequencies to allow you to experience altered states that give you an understanding of what kind of vibrational states you can come from in life, what kind of vibrational states you can recreate within yourself without necessarily requiring the teacher of the plant all the time. They are opportunities to be able to hone your senses, to be more able to perceive things that were heretofore invisible, that are all around you all the time, to allow your senses to peer into other dimensions and begin to break down the veils and the barriers between what you consider to be physical reality and other levels of dimensional reality. That's what they're there to do, to remind you of your connection to source, your connection to spirit, to allow you to function more holistically as a human being, as a part of nature, an expression of nature on the earth, and to allow you to perceive that you are connected to much more than you may think. But once they teach you this, the idea is also that you don't really need them any longer and that you can recreate those states within yourself anytime you so desire.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh, well put.
Any
Way to sum up.
any danger I should be aware of while using
The
this?
only idea you might consider to be dangerous, which isn't really, is that you have to be prepared to face whatever it is they are going to show you about yourself and any fears you may be harboring. But it's not really dangerous. It might just feel like a wild ride.
Well, one of my fears is that I may be given false information and
By the plant?
yes.
You can't be given false information by the plant. What you can do, however, is that if you're holding on to certain belief systems that cause the information to be filtered in a way that's misaligned with what really would resonate with you, then you can certainly have that experience. But always look to yourself to see that you're the one that's going to be coloring that information. The information from the plant cannot be false.
Great.
Does that help?
Yes.
Always bring it back to yourself. Always take responsibility for what it is you are perceiving. It doesn't matter if someone else actually even has an intention to deceive you or falsify anything. Always take responsibility for your part in the co-creation, and you will always be able to unerringly guide yourself back to a center point, no matter what kind of information you are being fed. Yes?
Yes.
You can see through any illusion, the more transparent to yourself you become. You can
Yes.
see through any illusion, the more transparent to yourself you become. This is why the greatest sages, the greatest masters, and the greatest teachers, and the greatest literature on your planet has for centuries boiled down the ultimate answer, the ultimate idea to a simple 2 words. Know thyself.
Yes.
And then you will understand any reflections you may encounter, because you will understand it is all reflections. And if something is out of alignment, look to yourself first. Yes?
Yes. And that is my intention to.
All right. Then if it is your intention, allow it to flow out through your actual actions. Remember, true knowing is synonymous with behavior. The things you know are true, you just do. If I ask you to walk across a room, you don't sit there and go, well, I think I can. Well, wait, I believe I can walk across the room. No, you just walk. The things you know are true, you just do. Action and knowing are synonymous. So if your behavior doesn't exhibit it, that means you don't quite know it yet. So keep digging.
Yes. So part of my interest with these plant medicines is
Yes.
that I wish to help my sister to come out of the downward spiral that she's been in for 25 years.
All right, but again, you heard us talk to someone else about doing your best to be an example of what she may choose, but you have to allow her to choose her path, even if it's negative. She may not be ready to take you up on a different course of action. If she is, she will. But the only way she will is if you simply provide the opportunity by being the best example you can be of someone who, if they choose that path, reflects the joy that she may in her heart wish to have, but again, may be too afraid to jump on, maybe too afraid to act on. So if you can allow yourself to impart information that you have learned from the plants in a way that will allow her to not be afraid to get in touch with her own deep-seated fear-based beliefs and allow her to let them go, then she may walk that path side by side. But if she chooses not to, there is not much you can do to change her mind. Do remember, however, there is never any reason in any way, shape, or form to despair. You are all eternal, infinite, indestructible beings. If it doesn't happen now, it'll happen sometime. Because you have all of infinity to explore who you are. And by your own definition, infinity never ends. Yes?
That's very reassuring.
Well, that's just the way things are. Does that help you?
Yes, it does very much. Thank you so much.
You are so very much welcome.
One more thing.
Yes.
What is this about triple numbers and meaningful numbers like 911 or 322?
Many people will use the idea of numerics to create signs and symbols and road markers so that when they experience the synchronicity of those numbers coming up, it will be like a sign that you are in the correct vibration and in alignment with your path.
Even like 911 is usually has negative connotations.
Well, you've given it one, but you can also recognize it has a positive one. Think of the idea of the phoenix rising from the ashes, yes?
I did not know that was related to 911.
I am saying it is related to the incident that you are relating 9/11 to.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is you can recognize, again, as we said earlier, that something can be generated from a fear-based belief. Something can be created. A situation can absolutely be manifested from a negative point of view. That doesn't mean that you have to use those symbols in a negative way yourself just because other people may relate to it that way. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So give yourself an opportunity to recognize 11 is a power number, a gateway to higher dimensions of higher consciousness, and 9 is the number of the completion of a cycle. So if you're completing an old cycle that activity, that incident represents, then you can take that as the beginning of a new cycle that begins with 11, which means you're going up a level, you're going up a dimension, you're going up a notch, and you're going up in vibration, so that if you change the way you go about doing things and relating to other people on your planet, then such things will never have to happen again in the negative context that they happened before.
Wow. I have arrived to this venue this morning at exactly 9/11.
All right. Well, you see, there's
and
positive benefit in that.
I even had to go around the block once because I missed the entrance.
You missed nothing.
No, I mean, when I came the second time, it was exactly 9/11.
Yes. So the idea of those numerical symbols can, in their most fundamental sense, simply represent perfect timing. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Does this help?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It helps a lot.
This is being reflected, and it has been reflected in your consciousness and in your culture now for quite some time.
And these movies are kind of awakening just all of us.
They are reflections of the fact you are awakening.
Oh, okay.
They're not awakening you, but they're reinforcements of the awakening. If you hadn't already awakened to that point, you wouldn't be creating those movies. You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does very much so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day. What is your story?
It's not so much about my story, but I want to ask about your story and the Essassani story a little bit more.
All right. What do you wish to know about our story?
First of all, how do you say good day in your ancient Essassani language?
Again, it is very similar to the idea. Do you have a word on your planet in one of your languages, the word aloha, yes?
Yes.
It means many things. So does ha'atu.
I see.
Ha'atu means thank you.
Thank
It
you in
means
Hawaiian.
I love you. It means good day. It means many things. Ha'atu is simply the greeting.
I see.
You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else?
So your people, geez, where do I start? Okay, so
Most stories start at the beginning.
if I were to be on your planet right now, you
Yes.
said it's very quiet, right?
Well, yes, in the sense that there are no conversations usually because we do not verbalize.
Sure. Would you be able to telepathically communicate with humans back and forth, or is
Who
that-
are on our world?
Yes.
If
for
they
example.
acclimate to our frequency, yes.
Oh, I see.
If they don't, we would probably have to vocalize.
I see. Without a channel, there might be a language barrier. I would think, huh?
Well, many of us have learned many of your languages. understand that our language is a hybrid language. Our ancient language was actually constructed out of many of the languages on your planet and other civilizations. So you would actually recognize a lot of it.
Really?
And we can simply adapt to understand because many of us, out of our own excitement, have learned many of your languages.
Oh, that's fascinating. Thank you for taking interest.
Well, that is simply what we're excited to do.
And so you said that when your civilization was starting off, you were
Yes.
given a kind of a database of information
Yes.
from the Greys or the
Yes.
creators. What kind of things did that contain that gave you kind of a jump start to have
Well, a complete
success?
and basic understanding of the idea of our psychological makeup, so that we would understand the idea of what belief systems were all about, what emotions were all about, what our personalities were all about. We were still left to explore some ideas of this, but we understood from what you call the get-go that fear was a choice.
I see.
So we did not really experience what you would call the concept really of conflict on our world. Conflict simply being, if you wish, negotiation with teeth.
I see.
Negotiation based on fear.
And what is the Essassani or Sassani people's relationship to the other hybrid races? Do you communicate frequently?
We do, not necessarily frequently with all of them in terms of your time. 4 of them are quite constant. One of them has chosen to be relatively isolated in its exploration of itself.
I see. The Shalanaya, who are supposedly the first to contact us, they are the ones who had the Phoenix Light ship. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to send an invitation to them to come back.
Invitations have already been sent. You need send no more.
Okay.
They will always answer the invitations in the timing that is appropriate.
And the other thing is a being known as Kayala, who I have asked about previously once, is of which hybrid race?
Partly Shalanaya, partly the 3rd hybrid race.
Does that 3rd hybrid race have a name that is able to be disclosed, or no?
That story is for another time.
Okay. May I just extend to that being a thank you for being willing to undergo the type of interaction that he did with the people of our planet, and we must seem a little bit primitive. And
You are masters. You understand the idea is that it takes a master to choose a reality of such great polarity. We understand what you mean by primitive, but that's just an expression. The idea is that once you realize your mastery, you will not see yourselves as primitives either.
I see. Just wanted to relay that message that it does not go unappreciated.
All right.
What has been done. So
That is
thank you.
understood and reciprocated, and gratitude is given.
Okay, that is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ha'atu.
At this timing, the story must move to another chapter. Take a short break. We will resume this story transmission with the idea of the experience of your holotope.